And I was all like, oh, okay. Hey, a salary job. That's all I'm after at this point because I can't find anything. Okay. So then I say, okay, all right, then I'll take it. And then he says, okay, great. The job's in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hey.
The day that I had got the job offer was the same day that my daughter was born. So I had to make some pretty crazy life decisions there.
All right, guys, welcome back to Too Hard, Too Fast, the podcast with strong opinions about things that we may or may not know too much about.
Usually don't know anything.
In order to broaden perspectives.
I don't have any perspective, bro.
Well, whatever. Just start the show.
All right, let's start the show.
All right, man. Hey, how you doing?
What's up, bro? I'm all right. What you been up to?
Dude, well, actually, by the time this podcast starts, it's probably already been a week since it started. But right now, as of recording, the podcast dropped and hockey is back, man, officially.
Dude, the NBA is back, bro. That's what I'm happy about. Go Spurs, go! I know you don't like the Spurs because, well, whatever, dude. There's no more hockey in San Antonio. So.
There is no more hockey in San Antonio. We talked about that, and that video went nowhere, so we ain't going to talk about that again.
Well, it went somewhere for me, bro. It educated me about what's going on in San Antonio, the hardships. Well, dude, the hardship that no one knows what's going on.
I mean, the Spurs own everything. The Spurs.
I had a cousin, he used to call them the sperms.
All right, man, we're not talking about the Spurs. We're not talking about sports.
My cousin used to call them the sperms.
Oh, man, hey. Our last two videos, or the last four videos, actually, have gone pretty well, man. NFL, barbecue. How are we going to cut that out?
So is it because of what we were talking about, or?
I think because we were bringing in guests, and also we go too hard, too fast, you know. We're badass.
I don't like guests, bro. When we have guests, I feel like I need to protect myself more. I need to take my. You know what? Let me take my temperature right now. Let me see. Okay.
Do it.
Let's do it. Yeah. Oh! I'm just joking. Oh? Okay, cool. All right, so I guess I could take off my mask. It's all good.
Take off your mask.
Right, all right.
You do realize everything you just did was visual? So, like, anybody listening on audio did not see it. And
don't care, bro.
And then half of all that was hidden behind the virtual screen.
Oh well. Hey, but my temp, we're good. I took off my mask for those that aren't watching. They're listening. I have someone next to me. One of my good friends here in West Texas. West Side. West Side. You want to introduce yourself, brother?
Yeah. Hey, so how's it going? My name is Joe Montes. I've known Joaquin for a few years. How,
I've been
2015
and 2014. So 14. 6 years here.
Hey, yeah, 6 years to West Texas, beautiful West Texas.
They know me as Worm, bro.
The beautiful. There's something so seductive about the mesquite tree. It's so beautiful in its grace.
Yeah. Man, 6 years, but he knows you as your real name, and you're gonna bring this guy on as a guest.
Yeah. That's his professional name. Remember, I know him from the professional setting.
That's true. So he was my boss, and I quit on him. In fact, he's the reason why I originally came. Yeah. He hired me as a manager, and then I was there for almost 2 years.
Yeah. You did a good job.
Yeah, dude,
we developed a nice little friendship.
Yeah. He wanted more out of our relationship, and that's why I said, hey man, you're crossing the line. We had we're still friends.
All right, so in this podcast we're not going to keep it professional. We're going to keep it too hard, too fast, and we're going to talk about a lot of things. But before we do all that, I want to talk about a couple of things that came up since the last 2 weeks, since the NFL video. That video, when it got us a lot of views, man. And then the barbecue video came out, and that got good views with the community, the barbecue community.
Well, this guy knows how to barbecue too.
Nice.
So what I got people asking me, especially like some coworkers and some friends, like what we're trying to do with this podcast. Like, why are we putting ourselves out here? Why are we doing this? Are we trying to be are we trying to be badasses? What are we trying to do?
Trying to make money if we make it. If not, my name is Worm and I'm an alcoholic. Really, this is just my AA meeting. Really, that's the way I see it.
Here we are.
Joe, I'm an alcoholic. Do you accept me for who I am?
Yeah.
All right.
He's got to. Yeah. So
Tell us, George, what are we about, man?
So just one more explanation. I know, like for the listeners that have been here since day one, they know this, but I think me and Worm have something that we can really bring, some positive thing that we can bring with this, and it's mostly just like we said at the beginning, broadening perspectives. Like, we're not trying to change your mind. We're not trying to tell you how to think. We're just trying to show you a different way.
We're not the government.
Thinks. Yeah, a different kind of situation. Just a different kind of situation, a different way of thinking. As my brother would say, at the end of the day, you're free to choose whatever you want to choose and whatever you want to think. Other than that, like, we're just having fun with this. If we get paid, we get paid. If we get sponsorships, like, that's awesome.
We'll advertise your stuff.
Yeah, man.
Especially beer.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get to that. So that's all we're doing, man. That's all we're doing.
We'll bring it on, dude.
We're broadening perspectives. We're making things happen. We're having fun. And so enough with all that. Let's get on with the show.
Yeah.
What are you drinking, Worm?
So, man, hey, let me tell you. This guy, he knows his beers, dude. He's introduced me to so many different ones. Hey, I've already drank a couple. Tell him, what are some of the ones you gave me already? Or start off with what you're drinking, and then I think it's the juice. It's the juice IPA.
I think it's the Juicy Haze.
The Juicy Haze, dude. It makes me haze.
Oh, yeah, I've had that one. That one's good.
Yeah, that one, and then you had Bingo Hazy IPA.
Yeah, I've never had that one. That's pretty good. What are you drinking? Show us your drink.
I'm drinking something from Austin Brewery that I go to and pick up stuff from time to time. Jester King. I don't know. Maybe we can see it, kind of. All right, there you go. So, yeah, so I just stock up on a whole bunch of beer.
Are you serious? Oh, so you can't get that at HEB here?
Oh, no.
You have to go all the way to Austin?
Well, no, because yeah, but I like going there because they have a pretty cool little layout there.
Where do you get that?
Jester King Brewery.
So where is that at?
Yeah, it's outside of Austin. It's in Dripping Springs.
Oh,
and then also it's a really good time. They have this big like farm compound, and then also they do like all their microbrewing there. They don't use yeast. What they use is whenever they're brewing their wort, when they're gonna ferment it, they just like open up the outdoor windows and also like all like the wild hill country flowers and pollen. It ferments the beer. With just like the hill country. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's why I love this guy, dude. He knows his beers. He always gives me something new to try every time.
Yeah.
Well, I never even heard of that one. I'm gonna have to try that one. Or if somebody wants to send me some, that'd be cool. Let me know.
That's true. We'll advertise. If anyone from Austin or outside of Austin's listening, do it.
Hey, we're so close. At least I am.
In fact, we already advertised for you.
Well, I wanted to try something different with the thought of Soto, our last guest. He was being clean. He didn't bring any alcohol on our show. With that in mind, I got this shotgun ranch water spiked seltzer. It's agave and lime.
Oh, there you go. Hey,
it's actually, with this whole craze, it's like this whole thing, like everybody's trying to do spiked seltzer, spike everything, Truly's, White Claw.
Chico?
White Claw.
White Claw.
With the spike.
Oh, yeah, the White Claw.
Yeah,
no, but yeah, that's something coming too, the Topo Chico.
They're having a Topo Chico hard seltzer or something like that. And then also, I like drinking it by itself. I really don't like hard seltzers, but I don't know. Yeah. If it's Topo Chico and alcohol, it sounds pretty good.
And have you guys heard about the Big Red flavored beer?
Oh, no.
That is local, San Antonio local. It apparently it sells out. They only put out a little bit at a time.
Yeah. If you're in San Antonio, you really need to go check out Weathered Souls Brewing.
Weathered Souls.
Yeah. So yeah. I've gone there too. So yeah, just whenever I'm traveling like through Texas and stuff like that, that's what we do here in West Texas. You travel, so then
you always have to go somewhere.
Yeah. So then like there was a point in time a few years ago where I was like kind of like traveling to breweries like within Texas, and then also San Antonio has a real good one of my favorites, which is Weathered Souls. So you go check that out.
I'm gonna have to, because I've been looking for something new. This is pretty good. This is good like for a hot day, like that lime hits you real good.
Hey, very quick, we have another special guest too. Oh no.
Hello. Oh, we're gonna have to cut that out. No, I'm just kidding.
How long have you all been here?
3 years.
3 years. Hey, is this El Paso gang right here?
El Paso.
El Paso. All of you, all three?
Yeah.
Right.
Dang, the fake AP.
The fake EP. Oh, he's from Eagle Pass.
No.
I know you're the fake EP.
The two EPs had to come together and do something.
That's true, dude. Hey, see, we're coming together. So yeah, this guy El Paso, but then he went to college in San Antonio, and then he out to go where?
Texas Tech. Texas Tech. Right?
You finished at Texas Tech?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
how was that?
It was good. It was good. I was actually a culinary arts. I went to Texas Tech to do my culinary arts degree.
Oh dang!
Dang, really?
Yeah. So that's kind of where like my love of like everything that has to do with like taste and sensories, and then like like food, and then also gastronomy. Like I'm always dabbling into something.
So in UTSA, what were you doing? Like something different or?
Oh gosh, I don't know what I was doing at UTSA, man. I wasn't doing too much. I wasn't doing too much. That's why I had to transfer to Texas.
It's legal in Colorado.
That's why I had to transfer to Tech. To be honest with you, I was messing up so bad when I was 17 because I was around all my friends that I had to just like cut off like everything, move to another college, and just get like straight about life. But if I wanted to finish, I knew no one when I transferred over to Tech. It was my junior year, and then also I said, you know what, I need to like go somewhere where I know nobody, and also I did. I did
to West Texas for that. You get a clean slate.
I just landed at Texas Tech. They had a degree that I wanted to do, and it was the closest. It was the closest next school, which was 8 hours away.
And so, you have that happens a lot actually. Like it really does. Like a lot of people go to a certain college with San Antonio, Austin, whatever, San Marcos, anywhere in the U.S. Like they do that. And then they have to change. Like I had a couple of friends just like in my close high school friendship that did that. And it was like the best thing for them. Like for them to just say, hey man, I realize I'm messing up here and I need to go somewhere where I can buckle down.
Oh yeah. 100%. That happened to me, man. And then I just had to just come to terms with it. Just tell all my friends. I'll be like, hey, I'm transferring to Tech. And then everyone's like, what? What do you mean? Why? And then I was all like, you know what? I was all like, I just need to do stuff on my own. I need to clear my head and go somewhere where I mean no one. And then I literally did, man. I walked into Texas Tech knowing the name of one person.
Wow.
Knowing the name of one person.
Who was it? You're gonna have to say the name.
Yeah. That's what I meant. It was a high school friend who was there, but I hadn't talked to her since high school, so I hadn't talked to her for like 3 years, and then she was the only one I knew that went there. So. I contacted her, but when you live in the dorm, because I was living in the upperclassmen dorms at that time. So then also it was like a brand new facility for upperclassmen. So that was cool. Like it was like the dorm lifestyle, but since it was upperclassmen, everyone did like their own stuff. Everyone already kind of had like their own friends and stuff like that. So not too much stuff was going on. It was more of nothing really crazy happened in those dorms. Upperclassmen dorms really. There was more people taking it seriously, to be honest with you.
You go to all the football games?
Yeah, I did. As much as I could.
Did you throw those tortillas out there?
Oh, yeah.
Did you make them yourself?
Yeah, that was a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, so
man.
what made you do culinary when you got there?
You know what? Just like I mean, my love, like my love for food, really, and then I've always worked in the restaurant industry. To be honest with you, my first job was working at Little Caesars Pizza.
Oh, damn.
Little Caesars Pizza in El Paso, Texas. And then, and like I mean, I was 15 years old. Then, like I mean, I don't know how. I think I just kind of like knew the manager and stuff. So then, like I was working there at age 15, making pizzas and stuff. And then also, they wanted me to be a crew leader. I was
At 15?
I like
16? Wow.
15, 16 years old. I was like, this is crazy. I was like,
You're responsible.
but you know what? I actually did it for a little while. I mean, I did. So yeah. So, I've always had a trend of being thrown into like the next position, like a leadership position. I don't look at me. I don't look at myself as a leader, but I'm always put in a leadership position, like anywhere I work.
I mean, he's an asshole. That's why he fits the role perfectly. Just joking. Nah, he's cool.
Hey, the best leaders are, right? Or is that what they say? Or the best leaders are followers. I don't know what they say.
The best leaders know how to listen.
So did you graduate? You ended up graduating from Texas Tech with a culinary degree?
Yeah. So yeah, I did. This is in 2008. If you guys remember 2008, I mean, like I graduated that year.
That was my freshman.
That was the market crash. That's when you had lawyers being servers. That's when the student loan debt was astronomical now.
Dude, the 2020 class can relate to you, man.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of graduates who are going through the same thing that you went through.
Exactly.
I don't know if they can relate to it. It's a little different because
it's different. It's the same. There's a economy crash. A lot of people weren't hiring. A lot of companies.
But I
know it was the house.
We're not hiding.
But
we weren't hiding in our homes either.
Oh, right.
2020, we're hiding in our homes.
No, I understand that. But we didn't
were like trying to still.
I know, but we didn't graduate at that time. For graduates, though, they went into an economy that was down.
It was bad, man. It was bad.
No, I mean I get it. I remember like our professors were losing their jobs and stuff because they couldn't pay them. Yeah. So I know it was bad. Like I'm not saying it wasn't bad, but I think
it wasn't bad. But I mean,
from
an economic standpoint,
we weren't wearing masks.
Yeah. And then you know what? Didn't they give us?
I mean, like it was the last recession. I mean, like it was the last recession.
Didn't they give a stimulus package in 2008 too, or no?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
No, okay.
I don't remember that.
And I don't know why my parents gave me some money. They said, "Oh well, I'm all right, cool."
They were probably just wanting you not to come home.
Not to come back. Here's some money. Don't come home. We got a stimulus package. Have fun in San Antonio. So what'd you do after you graduated then? Like what?
So I was working in restaurants as high school through college, bartending like Landry's, Joe's Crab Shack in San Antonio.
But wait,
you got your steakhouse, Hop Eater.
But you got your degree in culinary, or no?
It's a hotel restaurant management degree, and then also it comes with culinary certifications and stuff like that now. So yeah, so that's where I dabbled. Well, I mean that's where I basically did my education.
Hey, you know the Saltgrass by what?
Huebner, yeah, I've been in there a couple of times.
Yeah. So yeah.
If it was bad, he was managing.
I used to work at that one. Yeah. So yeah. I was one of the front of the house managers for there. And
maybe that's why I never went back.
Yeah.
No. I never went back because I couldn't afford it.
So yeah, so when I graduated, I couldn't find a job anywhere. It took me a whole year to find a job. It took me a whole year to find a job, and then I was applying everywhere, like everywhere you could. I was applying back then. You still had to take a lot of hand paper applications. Still,
what were you looking for?
Back in the day.
What specifically were you looking for?
Oh gosh, you know what? So this one I was 24 years old. My graduation gift, I still had to make payments on it, but my graduation gift was a brand new 2009 Camaro.
Dang.
So the Bumblebee one. Now my parents put the down payment on it for me as a graduation gift, but I had to take over payments. I had $800 payments walking out of college,
including insurance.
Yeah. So then obviously I had to loans. Yeah. So So I had to find a job. So I was working at restaurants at the time. I was a manager at a Buffalo Wild Wings. So then I had opened up a Buffalo Wild Wings in El Paso. So Like, so yeah, they would send me to stores that are going to open in the area. And also we would take like 3 months and like staff it and organize it. And I can get all the parts together, get all the schedules, hire the staff. So yeah, so I did that a few times.
But what was like, I guess what I'm thinking is like, well, like coming out of college, what was your dream to become? Like your goal?
Oh, okay, yeah. I had just graduated college, so I mean, why wasn't I dressing up in a suit every day, working 9 to 5, carrying a briefcase? Making $30,000 making $30,000 a month, because that's the dream that they sell you, right? Yeah. Go to school and then everything will be fine. Don't worry,
money. But you'll get any job you want.
But is that saying like graduating from culinary, or did you say you graduated with something else?
It was a bachelor's in hotel restaurant management.
Oh, so no culinary. You started as that.
Yeah, right. So it kind of has the discipline and certification attached to it, because when you're working at hotels and restaurants, there's a big culinary aspect of it. You have your kitchen managers, chefs, and all that stuff. In hotels, and also, or if you go to the restaurant, right?
So you wanted to run a hotel, or just?
Yeah. I like restaurants. I like restaurants. I like to be in the kitchen. I like to lead a shift of the guys. During dinner rush and stuff like that. It's a big adrenaline rush. You're focused on feeding a restaurant, and then also there's so much multitasking going on, and then yelling and things aren't going right, and stuff's gonna burn.
Would you do the yelling?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
I burn my finger on that stove, and my adrenaline goes through the roof.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Keep going. I couldn't help myself.
No. So,
but that was your dream. So run a kitchen.
Yeah. So yeah. Eventually, what everyone, at that age in my shoes wanted was ultimately to own your own restaurant. Really, really to own your own restaurant. To make your own concept. So yeah, that's what I ultimately wanted to do. But now I probably wouldn't do that.
I think what we're getting at right here is it's okay to have a mind change. A change of mind in what you're doing.
All right. So then back then, since you really couldn't get a job anywhere, that was the thing. No one was hiring. So then I was just applying anywhere and everywhere. On anything that popped up on the job boards. Because Career Builder was big back then. Stuff like
was
that.
Indeed back in the day?
I think it was no.
That didn't exist yet either.
Yeah, but no. But there was still a big hand paper process still, to where you had to go and do interviews and turn in your resume and stuff like that into the actual companies. Now, now you really don't do that.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah.
So I remember those days.
Yeah. So then you know what? To be honest with you, I was for a whole year, over a year, trying to just send applications and get a job, land a job, any job at this point. Any job that's getting me out of $10 an hour when I was working. So, having a college degree too, that was tough. Yeah. So one of my friends' dad said, "Oh, hey, you know what? If you have a college degree, they'll hire you at the hospital, being a manager for a contract." I was like, huh. Okay. And then also he was all yeah, so my dad does the hiring, so hand me your resume, and then also, we'll, he'll get back to you. I was like, I was giving my resume to anyone. Anyone at the time. So then I sent him my resume. A few months passes by, and then I get a phone call. And then the guy's all hey man, I just got your resume come across my desk. And then after that, he was all it's working for, being the housekeeping manager for hospitals. So I was like, oh, that's not what I want to do. I was all well, that's dumb. I was like, I don't want to do that. But he's all hey man, listen, so then we talked a little bit, we talked it out. And then also he was all I like you. I can get a sense of person you are just by talking to you a little bit. He was all I'll offer you the position for assistant director for the environmental services department. And I was all oh, okay. Hey, a salary job. That's all I'm after at this point, because I can't find anything. Okay, so then I say, okay, all right, then I'll take it. And then he says, okay, great. The job's in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hey.
It's like what, 4 hours from?
Yeah.
No, it's 6 hours. Huh?
5.
5 hours.
Five.
Okay.
5 because it's 4 hours to Albuquerque.
Yeah, that's true. And another hour. Yeah, that's true.
So I moved to Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Were you comfortable? Were you comfortable with just like picking up and moving?
Yeah, so that was tough, but yeah, a couple of things that was like that were going on in life at the time is the day that I got the job offer was the day that my daughter was born. So I had to make some pretty crazy life decisions there. I was either going to stay at my restaurant job making $10 an hour, or I was going to go and take a chance and go and be a housekeeping manager, assistant director in Santa Fe, New Mexico, from a company that I'd never even heard.
You sure it wasn't a scam?
No, like, dang, I was trying to think, like, how does somebody make that decision? Are you like at that point ready to just pick up and go, or was
yeah.
Like,
I mean, no, I had to make I had to make a choice, and I had to make a big one because it was going to be for a career, whatever it came out of, rather than just staying at Buffalo Wild Wings making $10 an hour, like managing the restaurant.
Were you at the hospital? You saw your baby born, and then you just took off?
I mean, it was it was something like that, really. To be honest with you, she was born, and then also she was born on I believe it was a Thursday, and then also by that Sunday, I was already hopping on a board to do their to do their training for 2 weeks.
Gosh,
and that was in Houston. Yeah.
No, I mean, dude, that's
So
that's hardcore. Like, I can't even think. Like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
So what went through your head? Like, what kind of decisions were you, or what were you? What was going in your head? Pretty much.
So I knew that I had to do something. I knew that I had to do something, and then also I'm always going to be the one that dabbles with a little bit of risk. Because I always want to see what's on the other side. I always want to see, if I can hit big a little bit. I'll take my time and be very conservative. I mean, by that time I was waiting over a year to get a career salary job. So I mean, I'll take a little bit of risk, and then also, I believe it or not, it's now I'm mid ranking in a company that's worldwide, that has hundreds of thousands of people, working in it, and then also, just because I stuck with it.
What was Santa Fe? How was the environment different from El Paso, even San Antonio, Lubbock, and then Santa Fe?
Yeah.
Was it different?
Santa Fe was interesting, man. Yeah. New Mexico, man, a union state. That was crazy. Going into that. I was a young new manager that I had never managed or talked to people before, and then I get thrown in a union environment. And then the only reason why I landed on that position is because
nobody else wanted to do it.
Because no one can do it, because whoever's there ends up leaving or getting fired. So that was me in that position. Yeah, man. So I dealt with a strike before, like a nurse's strike.
Oh.
Yeah, so a nurse's strike, dude, it was the craziest thing. So the union and the hospital negotiate during their negotiation season, and then they negotiate, and then it's just a big court battle on give and take. The union with the hospital, the regional hospital, this is crazy. I cannot believe that they're calling us to go to court for union negotiations. I was like, man, this is crazy. I was like, this is crazy. Yes.
And what is your main purpose doing there? What is your main?
Writing job descriptions. I'm writing job descriptions, making sure that it's not too much work. Dude, that's nice. That's awesome. Making sure that it's too nice. Yeah. So
don't give me too much responsibility.
How can you? That probably sucks the worst with the strike. How do you?
Okay. So all right. So look, this is how it goes down. So I'm barely getting into the mix of working at a hospital less than a year, and then here I go in the middle of union negotiations with the hospital. Okay. So I'm 24 years old. I'm I'm fresh out of college. I was I didn't know what kind of environment I was in. But there was some stuff that didn't that didn't get settled in court in like union negotiations with the hospital and the union. So then the union had to run a strike, hospital-wide, all disciplines, who was ever part of the union. Yeah. So then this is where it gets even crazier. So since I was part of management, even though very young, low, like low on the totem pole, I was still part of these like high-level meetings still that they're having against, okay, we're the hospital, so this is what we're going to do, and then also this is what the union's going to do. It was like a game of war while you're trying to run a hospital. It was so odd. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, it
where
was
you're
like,
trying to save lives or...
Right. But there was a union battle going on, and then they were going to go on strike. So a few meetings later, and then they start to plan how they're going to replace like 400 nurses.
Wow.
And then like they were actually going to, so while the strike was going to go on and nurses weren't going to be at work, and then they were going to be picketing, they were going to fly contract nurses, and then they were going to rent out like hotels in the area, staff the nurses, fly them in every week, every other week, okay? And then they were going to barricade the hospital, and then they were going to have buses and shuttles go back and forth for shifts.
Wow. Those are traveling RNs, right?
Yeah.
They were just going to do 400 traveling RNs.
And then if you want a good job, you can be a traveler nurse and then also a union contract nurse. Those nurses get paid like $90 an hour because you have to be ready on the go. Like, I mean, if they tell you right now, I need you to be in Boise, Idaho tomorrow. Oh, you know, like you have to go over there. I mean, like, but yeah, that's crazy. Though.
And just to give perspective, how many traveling RNs do you have in your current hospital?
Oh gosh, in the current hospital, I don't know, like 60.
60? Well,
Yeah.
that's still quite a bit.
Yeah.
Is that something that anybody can just be like, I just want to be a traveling RN and that's going to be my thing?
Yeah. You can. Now, I mean, like, you know, I might not hear so much, but like on a national level, I mean, like they do require certain years of experience. Yeah, so 10. 20.
Oh, because they could be in any area, right? ER, ICU.
So yeah, so you have to be very highly adaptable. Very.
Or is that probably like the ones that are being called up upon like right now in our current situation?
Right.
With the pandemic?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, yeah, no, exactly. And then just really there was a nursing shortage before this anyways. So, I mean.
So what did happen with the union though? Did they end up replacing the 400 or did they finally come to an agreement?
Yeah, so like, to be honest with you, all that stuff is really just a big old like pissing match, really. Because I mean, like when you get down to it, someone has to settle. Like, I mean, like the union's gonna have to settle, you know, so they can go on with their day, so they can end up getting paid, so that their representatives can be taken care of.
Because if their workers don't have work, they don't get paid, huh?
Right. Right.
That's true. So they try to push it and then say, okay, we'll give in to it.
Right. So then they push it to the very edge and then they say, okay, all right, we understand. But we're not happy. Yeah.
Wow.
So like it was totally crazy. So I mean, and then like Santa Fe, beautiful mountainous desert terrain where it snows. Like, I mean, very beautiful and very unique. But for me at the time, being 24 years old, newborn, and it's snowing in the winter all the time, it probably wasn't the right mix for me. So it was pretty tough. It was pretty tough. I really didn't get acquainted so much. And then also me and my wife at the time had no support system in Santa Fe. It was just us three, which was great because it formed this great bond that's very beautiful that no one would be able to understand. Because I mean, like we went through from day one to for the past 2 years, just the three of us. Wow. So that was pretty awesome. So yeah.
So what happened after Santa Fe? You said you were there for 3 years?
2 years.
2 years?
2
Okay.
years.
2
Yeah.
years.
2 years. And then I learned a lot from the previous director. That was my first director. His name was Chris. So he's still actually in my life today, and kind of like how I moved up so fast. Like, I mean, he's always been there. But yeah, so he actually promoted me to a director. So I had to move to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Oh. Yeah. So then I moved to Albuquerque after 2 years. So I was the director there now of environmental services at the New Mexico Cancer Center. Yeah. So yeah, where they filmed Breaking Bad.
Dude.
They filmed Breaking Bad there. Yeah.
Really quick,
Oh,
last
really?
year,
Yeah.
Wait, very quick.
Yeah, when I was working there. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So you know what house it is and everything?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. But no. But the scenes at but in Breaking Bad, there's scenes of him at the cancer center, and then also that was that was cancer center.
Would you guys have to clean it extra good, or would you
Oh
have to
man,
extra clean?
it was a spotless, miraculous. Building there. Yeah.
Did you get to interact with anyone or take pictures?
Yeah. Like actors wise now.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
But no. But yeah, but it was pretty cool though. Just kind of seeing.
So would they just tell patients, "Hey, hold up, they're filming," then we'll.
No. I never saw that, to be honest with you. No.
And so how different was it from Santa Fe to Albuquerque? How different?
Man, you know what? Albuquerque. Albuquerque wasn't for me.
No.
Don't make any enemies right now. We could have
make enemies, dude. Hey, make enemies.
Yeah.
Wait, how long were you?
You can talk mess about Roswell. Nobody cares about Roswell, but Albuquerque,
that's where the aliens are at. The Mexican.
I'm kidding.
No, and then also it just wasn't for. It just wasn't for me. I probably didn't make the best of it. Probably.
But did you go to Balloon Fest?
You know what? So, where we lived, all the balloons would flood our house. Now, remember, I still had a very young daughter at the time, and then also really no other support system in Albuquerque. So, I didn't get to do. Get to do a lot of that stuff. But I really wanted to come back to Texas, though. That's what.
So what brought you back to Texas eventually?
Okay, so my first director, the guy who hired me, he had went over to this other national contract, which was kind of like the the national standard of contracting with hospitals. And then also, so then he's all like, "Hey man," he was all like, "Hey, I'm over here. I'm over here with Ed." He was like, "Come on over here." So then I did. I was all like, "Man," I was like, "I just want to get back to Texas. Really." I was like, "If you can get me back to Texas, I'll go."
Nice. So what are you doing now? What is it?
So now I'm the director of the medical center of the medical center for West Texas. I'm in West Texas. Yeah. So we run.
Any regrets? No culinary. Nothing. Just doing.
He met me.
I'm a student, so no, it's just something that it's a hobby.
With everything, you had a lot of challenges coming out of college. You had a lot of different things that made you change your mind or had to take a different course. Relating to what's happened today in 2020, or even in the future, if anybody's watching this in the future after 2020.
Right here. Boom. What we want to know is, what's your perspective on
how can you broaden someone's perspective that is graduating from high school, graduating from college? The world is weird. Things are happening. They have to make decisions right off the bat, whether they're having a newborn, they're having to graduate college, they're having to make some kind of life decision. What would you say to them right now?
Man, it's it's going to be tough out there, but you know what? I would go back if I'm in that position right now. I definitely go back to the foundations, go back to the basics of business, what it is to wow people. If your shift starts at 9 o'clock, you're getting to work and getting set up by 8:45. You're ready to clock in, you're ready to go to work. People that still take care of their appearance at work. On top of working hard, man, you got to work your butt off. You need to show people that you're willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done. So that type of old school sentiment stuff that has to go with business, that stuff's never going to go away. That stuff's never going to go away. Generation X, Generation Y, millennials. You still got to work your butt off. Even if you work remotely, you still got to work your butt off.
I slack it when I work remotely.
Well, what would you say to someone?
People, I'm busy.
What would you say to someone that has to make a big risk like you did?
You got to take the risk. You got to know when to take the risk. It all comes down with timing.
That's true. It can't just be a stupid
Exactly.
ass
Yeah.
resume.
So you need to be good at know a lot about a lot of things. I mean, read what's on the news. Read what's going on in finance. Trump wants to close down TikTok, and then also Microsoft wants to buy TikTok. I mean, that's what that was the news on Friday that I read. I was like, I was like, this is going to be interesting.
So learn when to take the risk. Hey, we're going to pause the conversation here. That's the end of part 1. Part 2 is coming out on Thursday. We're going to learn more about what Joe's doing right now, how he's dealing with the current situation, the pandemic, in his hospital position. We're also going to see Worm get a little more weird, and I love that. I miss this guy.
Hey,
I gave him a lot of hard time in the other podcast, but I do miss this guy. So, Worm, good to see you again.
Good seeing you too, bro.
With that said,
Worm.
with that said, remember, dare to be you, dare to be weird. Worm, what are you going to say?
Hey, take some risk. You got to be wow to your employers. All right. Have a good resume.
Have a good resume, yes. Have a good resume. And that's it. Another podcast down the drain. Bye.